Today, we hear from real people, each representing one of the 4 behavior types described in the DISC model: red, yellow, green, and blue. These are not theories anymore. These are voices from everyday life, sharing how they experience themselves and others through their color lens. Helena, a CEO and a strong red. Helena leads a private company with about 50 employees. She immediately grasped the core of the DISC concept and thought the book could have been half as long. She dislikes repetition and prefers action. After reading the book, she gave copies to all her coworkers to reduce misunderstandings. The most important realization for her was this: her team now understands that she's not angry or bossy. She's just red. She's direct and driven, not cruel. The part that surprised her most was learning how blues see the world. She never understood why they took so long to act. Now she sees that the process itself matters to them. She also admits she never realized how much greens talk behind her back. She finds it frustrating that they don't just come to her with questions. She values honesty and directness but understands now that others may find her intense. Helena says she used to think others were the problem. But now she sees that her quick decisions and intense behavior may have caused issues. She gave examples, like hiring someone without checking references, or accepting a job without asking about salary, only to work long hours with no overtime. In her personal life, her husband is quiet and cautious. She makes plans and gives tasks, then gets frustrated when they're not completed. She jokes that he never finishes anything, and she creates disorder but blames him. One of her main challenges is patience. She gets irritated when people take too long to decide. She once asked her husband to research an armchair, but when he didn't, she did it herself in 5 minutes. They'd been married for 14 years. She says he doesn't take initiative, but that's also why she was drawn to him, because he knew when to stay silent. Conflicts between them don't get solved openly. She forgets, while he stores the issue quietly, sometimes for weeks. In her view, taking action is more important than planning forever. She believes it's better to try, fail, and learn than to stay still. Her advice to others? Don't be afraid of her voice or intensity. She's not angry, she just values efficiency. Be clear, get to the point, and focus on the task. You don't have to talk all the time. Save that for the weekend. Håkan, a yellow salesperson. Håkan is full of energy, creativity, and charm. He immediately saw himself in the yellow profile. He says he can solve problems differently than others because of his fresh perspective. He's proud of being great at public speaking, presenting at meetings, and leading conversations. He likes being the center of attention and doesn't mind talking in front of people. When asked about weaknesses, Håkan disagrees with the book's suggestion that yellows make rushed decisions. He insists he gathers facts and makes informed choices. He also disagrees with the idea that yellows are too wordy when criticizing. In his view, he's clear and articulate. At the same time, he believes instincts are powerful. He says logic matters, but so does intuition, and he believes he has both. He admits yellows may not always listen well, but claims he takes charge in meetings to keep things moving. His biggest complaint? Blues. He finds them boring and obsessed with rules. He shared a story about working with blue teammates who made lists and calculations but didn't take action. He says they couldn't keep up with his pace. Has this understanding changed his life? Not really, he says. He still throws legendary parties. Though he doesn't invite his neighbors, they still talk about the events for months. His advice to others is simple: don't take life too seriously. Move on quickly, don't dwell on problems, and always wear a smile. When asked to reflect on his own weaknesses, he says he doesn't focus on the negative. He'd rather emphasize the good. Elizabeth, a green healthcare worker. Elizabeth works in public health care. Her behavior is calm, cautious, and loyal, classic green traits. Her son gave her the book, and although it took her a while to start reading it, once she did, she found it helpful and funny. She recognized her husband as a mix of yellow and blue. She laughed about his optimistic time estimates, like taking a shower just before guests arrive. She found comfort in learning that she gets along best with other greens. They support each other, and she values that deeply. But she struggles with blues, like her sister, who she says is cold and overly critical. She also finds reds a bit harsh. Her department head, likely a red, once gave a firm warning to an employee who was often late. Elizabeth finds that kind of approach too forceful, even if the rule itself makes sense. She doesn't enjoy conflict and says their workplace suffers from poor communication and lack of management support. Though things temporarily improved, the problems eventually returned. Still, she stays because of her supportive coworkers. She wishes people understood that some of them need more time to adjust. She prefers to get to know people before diving into work. Her suggestion? Take a moment to chat. Have a coffee. Get to know each other. Her final thought is that Greens need to improve their conflict handling skills. Stefan, a blue economist. Stefan is methodical, detail-oriented, and disciplined. He appreciated the structure of the book and noticed that each personality type got equal attention. He respects Reds for their speed and courage but says they make too many mistakes. He prefers slow, error-free processes. His job in finance requires precision, and he can't afford to be wrong. He finds Greens a bit inefficient. They often look busy but aren't always working. Still, he hasn't reported this to management. He says it's not his job. He finds Yellow behavior frustrating. He says they talk too much, get facts wrong, and are overly emotional. He dislikes their lack of clarity and truthfulness. He gave the example of his brother-in-law, who exaggerates and changes stories. Stefan says he'd rather hear a simple, "I don't know," than a long, unclear answer. His advice to others is simple: be professional, come prepared, and give background before asking questions. He needs complete information before he can help. His own weakness? He gets stuck in details, especially at home. For example, they need a new TV, but he hasn't bought one yet because he's still researching. His red wife finds him too slow. Stefan admits he overthinks, sees problems too early, and sometimes can't decide at all. But for him, thinking before acting is a strength, not a flaw. These real-life stories show how personality colors shape how we see the world, how we talk, and how we work with others. Each one, red, yellow, green, or blue, has strengths and weaknesses. But together, they help us understand each other a little better. The more we recognize these colors in ourselves and others, the easier it becomes to communicate, cooperate, and avoid conflict.